Okay, I did not expect this to be a three-parter, but because I opened up a wormhole, if you will, or whatever, then I'm like, okay, I don't want to tell an incomplete story. So, and I'm giving you kind of the cliff notes of everything that had happened, but just pretty much what had happened was that I told him, I'm like, just stay the fuck out of my life. Well, actually, no. I did tell him that in so many words, but I told him, I said, hey, I'm going to reach out to you through email when I want to communicate with you. Because I didn't know how long I was going to feel this way. So I did leave that door open. So let me make this clear. Actually, to his face, I did not openly say, hey, you can't ever contact me again. But I told him, do not contact me until I contact you. And I will contact you when I am ready. Okay? And like, let me give you a little backstory to make this make sense. We do not have a custody order in place. And at this time, this person was not paying any child support. So his seeing his child, and he is not in a position where if I said, here, take her, like, which I would never do, but let's just say I said, take her, he's not in a position where he could and would. Okay? No shade, no shade. But I'm saying, so I do get to call the shots when it comes to parenting. And pretty much he understands that until he doesn't. You know what I mean? But, pretty much he understands that. And same thing with his other mother of his child, Anyway, that's another story, and I'm not going to get too deep off into it, but I just want to make that make sense a little bit. So in case somebody is watching this and saying, you can't stop him from seeing his child. Ooh, like, okay. Yeah, well, legally speaking, actually, I can. Okay. And to make this make sense to anybody who feels like, oh, you're a real bitch. Like, how could you? Like, oh, it's not about you. It's about your kid. Well, yeah, no. And let me explain why. Because okay, when we very first broke up, I was actually very high functioning. I was doing great. But the whole seeing him on a regular basis and little things that he would do to like get under my skin, and these were things that are undeniable that he had done to get under my skin, they were like messing me up emotionally and creating problems. And these problems, I'm someone that when something bad happens to me, a lot of times I dwell and I get all in my feelings and I don't get over shit very easily, depending on what we're talking about, without a resolution, that is to say. It's very difficult for me to get over things. With a resolution, oh yeah, I can heal pretty quickly. But without one where, like, let's say someone is very hateful towards me and never apologizes, girl, I will talk about that story 50 years from now. Okay, I'm only 42, but I can tell you I'll talk about it in my 90s. Like, whatever. It's like that's, I get it from my mom, for the record. She's like that. Anyway, no, but all kidding aside, that's how I am, And so, why am I bringing this up about, about it. It was affecting my mental health. Like, I felt like this person was choosing to sleep with another person who he knew good and damn well he was going to do the same garbage to me or to this person that happened with me, that he was choosing that situation over fixing what he broke in the first place, or even just fixing himself. Even if, let me just tell you what he could have said to me that would have been a rejection, but it would have been a rejection that I would have been okay with. If he had said to me, hey, I'm not in a good place with you where I feel comfortable even thinking about a reconciliation. I may never want to reconcile. Like, I just think so much has happened between us, and whether you meant it or not or whatever, it's hurt me, which I was the injured party here, but unfortunately, sometimes the other person can feel like the injured party. That's a whole nother story when you decide that you're not going to take their garbage anymore. The point is that I love how I'm like trying to nicely throw shade, but I'm really not, but it's just coming through that way because I'm not a therapist. So it's difficult for me to like speak in coded language, and not just call a spade, as they say. But the point is that if he had said, I'm not interested in that at this time. if ever. But you're right. I don't need to start a new situation that is going to take me away from my child and is going to take my financial resources that are already strained. So you are correct, and I am not going to pursue this. Cool. Cool. I would have completely respected that. He didn't have to say, "Daddy's home, like let's reconcile." He didn't have to do that. I even gave him an opening where I'm like, "You don't have to. It's not about that." But it's like, at least here you have someone who knows you like a book. And unfortunately, some men, they don't want that. They want the woman who's ignorant about them, because then they could get away with more, and it's new, what to get into, right? So that's what they want, which is so stupid and just, it's childish. He's 35 years old. Again, I'm not trying to be hateful, but I'm just explaining like my standpoint as to why I just like snapped. Because I'm like, this is just wrong. What you're doing, this is wrong. And it's also going to mean less time with your daughter, who you profess to love, which I'm not trying to attack him loving his child overall. I'm saying in that moment how I felt. Okay, so, and really more than one child, because there's also my stepkid involved in this drama as well. So like, long story short, I felt like, you know what, you're an asshole, like whatever. And so I told him, do not contact me. But I will contact you first, and I will contact you through email alone. Well, he broke down and he contacted me. First, he tried to contact me, and I missed his calls. And then he like sent me a text, and then he, I hope he doesn't, see this, because I just want to give you guys an idea of like what kind of like made me bother, Okay. Let me see. Let me find it. The email or the message he had sent me. No, it's way back, I guess. Give me 1 second. Okay, no, it's not there. He said on the 17th, so this was 8 days after we'd had the falling out. He said, hey, just missing y'all. Hope to be able to hang out with y'all soon. Just call or text me when you can. And I'm not, like, we ended up having a long conversation when we talked. But no. I wasn't going to get back with him. Because I'm like, I told you to leave me the fuck alone, and I meant that shit, because I'm not going to get hoovered back into this bullshit again. So that's how I felt. But what did it was that he sent me an email. And the email was saying, like, yeah, I'm trying to be respectful, but I really want to see my child, and I miss you too, and all this. I'd have to go look for the email to get the exact thing. And I'm not trying to be fucked up or anything. I'm just explaining what made me decide to go along with the breaking of the no contact that I was setting up. And what I was saying earlier, if I didn't finish this thought, is that when it destroys your mental health, and especially if you don't have a child arrangement involved, then yes, I totally stand by a person deciding, yeah, I'm going to take a break from dealing with this person. And we can, regroup and figure things out at a later date. But like right now, I'm not in a good space where I can put up with this if it's affecting your child or your life really bad. And people can have whatever opinions they do, but I just want to let you know that if you're a mama that's going through this, I understand. Trust me, I understand, But since then, we have been co-parenting again. And we have had much better conversations. So I'll keep you guys posted in how things are going along. But that's pretty much it. Wet firework ending, but yeah, that's how things have been pretty much so over the last couple of weeks or so. So thank you for watching. Take care. Bye.